I guess because you were coming at it the point of view of someone who would be a potential customer, as opposed to someone like myself who knew what it is we do and the internals of our business, and presenting it to them in that way. In the months that followed that website going live, the majority of our leads were coming from, well, now today are coming from just the website straight and appearing on Google SEO. So that's one of our major lead sources now.
And when you and I met, what were we introduced to do together, and how did that play a role in making selling easier?
Yeah, so when we met, obviously through Mike, who, well, for want of a better word, because he does so much more, my business coach at the time. And he'd been helping me working through that process, and said, hey, you got to talk to this guy, Josh, about what you're doing and the process for sales. And so, yeah, obviously I trust his judgment. We jumped on the call and we started talking, and you guys together, you and Mike, were sort of like, it was funny because I felt like I was just standing there and you guys were off having a chat, and you're like working up all these ideas. And in the end, the ideas were really good. So, you were able to distill down what it is that we were doing and selling, because one of our challenges with custom software is it's pretty intangible. How do you say, if you've got an idea, okay, I can build you a solution for that. So yeah, that was an interesting process to go through. And in the end, I think, you did a really good job of distilling down the essence of what we were selling to customers to get the message across. And out of that came the concept of the green print about, reducing risk essentially in software development, getting the customer onto the same level as us, so there was a clear understanding. And that process has gone really well. Like, my hit rate on selling green prints is really good.
The green print, of course, is a scoping document. So your basic pitch to people who have an idea is, why would they do the green print?
Yeah, so I've been in the software industry for a long time. And, I was in corporate first, and I saw the wastage, I guess, or, projects running over time, running over budget, not delivering on quality or the other parameters. So what it's really about is getting everyone on the same page, putting the requirements down clearly and visually. I find people relate to visuals a lot better than lots of words. Identifying, the technical architecture, because it is a sophisticated product, putting that all together and giving them a much clearer picture of their budget and timeline. And if it's one thing we do really well, is we're able to deliver. Like, some projects don't even deliver. They get, killed halfway or whatever. So, yeah, but the customer doesn't know that. So the green print's really good at introducing them in and gaining their confidence.
The first low risk step in the process, right?
Absolutely. And it's really good at helping us with qualifying customers, because if customers are a bit more gung-ho and we don't need that, or we don't want to just pay for a quote, well, it's much more than a quote. It's like an analysis stage. Those kind of customers we can weed out earlier in the process, because they're more than likely not our type of customer.
And you've got a little bit of money from them. It's like $10,000 or something. You've built the process, you know it inside out, and then who are they going to choose? For those customers that go on after that, what percentage of them don't choose to work with you, actually go with a third-party company?
Very small, very small. Probably less than 10%. And one of the major reasons will be around cost, because we have all our resources based locally, because we feel you have to sit across the table and talk through some of these challenging technical issues or business issues. In some of the cases where they haven't gone ahead, they've probably gone for a lower cost development company overseas. And I'll probably tell you some background about what's happened then, because, we sort of stay in touch. And very few end up getting the result that they wanted. We've even heard of cases where they've ended up in litigation.
I guess one of the things you can explain better than most is, because you're not running advertising per se. I'm interested in, first of all, we didn't just make you a pretty website. How would you describe what we did with the website?
That's a good point. I get fixated a bit on the green print process, because you were able to help us put that together, articulate it, and then even produce the template for that. But At the same time, we were doing the website and changing the website also to give that message. That was all part of that process where you really dug deep into what it is we did and understood, almost to an extent better than myself, the core essence, because you were coming at the point of view of someone who would be a potential customer, as opposed to someone like myself who knew what it is we do and the internals of our business, and presenting it to them in that way. And we've, in the months that followed that website going live, the majority of our leads today are coming from just the website straight and appearing on Google, SEO. That's one of our major lead sources now.
It's getting them to inquire in the first place, giving them confidence. Yep. And then is it playing a role when you're selling and there's multiple stakeholders? Do you think that it plays a role in keeping them engaged, giving them confidence to talk to you?
I think it opens up that conversation, definitely the early stage. I know people are looking at it and they'll mention some of the things on the website, and then it's the natural flow on, because what happens is I take over from that and explain the green print process in more detail and provide them a proposal. In a lot of cases, when they've come through the website, they're aware of some of that. And of course, it helps that we rank high in Google, because a lot of people they do a Google search and then they end up calling us.
And you had a beautiful website before we met. It was really good looking. It was for all ostensible reasons, a good website. What was the difference? What is it that we brought that you didn't have before, that all of a sudden there's now leads coming through?
I think the easiest way to say it is less is more. This other website was expansive and had so much information, and it was very hard to work out exactly what we did. You're sort of overwhelmed. And you guys got involved and you took away pages. You took away a lot of things and surfaced the really important messages to the top. And I find in this world of websites and SEO and all that, sometimes it can be difficult to gauge the results. But the one result that you can see very clearly is, are you getting leads coming through? And the answer is yes. The number of leads that we've got have gone up since we've done that work on the website.
I love it. We'll keep it short from here, but would you recommend for people that are established business who have a website, have advertising dollars, what would you recommend to them with regards to JMarketing?
Absolutely. Have that conversation, because I think that's the first thing. Just open up and have a conversation. And that was for me. As soon as I started talking to you guys, and yourself in particular, Josh, I was like, oh, these guys get it. They understand it. And it's a real challenge as a business owner. There's so many people out there selling those services. How do you find the people who know what they're talking about? I was lucky. I was referred to you by Mike. And so obviously a referral works well. But then it didn't take me very long to work out, oh yeah, this guy knows what he's talking about.
And remind me, because I've actually forgotten, did we start with one page and then go on to do the full website after we'd done that single page?
I think the focus was on a single sort of landing page and in working out what that was going to be about. Then it became the green print. And then we focused on that. And then when we said, right, let's redesign the look of the webpage. And that was the other thing. We did get an existing company who's been doing our work for us, because the website was good, but it was looking a bit dated. I needed a refresh. We got them to give us their ideas, and we looked at it and we were kind of like, it's okay, but it's not great. And then when we saw your visual design, we were like, wow, that looks great. And that was also one of the things that moved us in your direction, because we did have incumbent web company looking after the site.
Final question then. What does the future look like for Lateral?
Good question. I like talking about that, because things are on the up. We've got, focusing in areas, obviously sales, number one. You say, what's the thing, if I could fix everything else or just have one thing, it'd be to increase the sales. And there's no magic solution, but we're on the way to that. We've got a process in place now. I'm never happy with the amount of leads. We could always have more leads. We could always have more sales. I'm also doing work on my core team, the people management team, to also skill them up and get them in the same level so we can work as a really productive team. And that's already well underway. This year's, I consider it pretty much done, because we're coming into Christmas and New Year's. But in the new year, we're really looking to up the sales side of things, push out more. We're looking at resourcing, looking at the potential to recruit people across the world. And maybe even chase customers across the world. So yeah, there's a lot of opportunities for us to chase, and this whole market of these smaller, medium-sized startups coming through, funded startups, which is critical. So they've got some money behind them. That's really exciting as well.
Love it. And I did think of one more thing to say is that I take great pride in friending hard, that it's not just a customer, it's someone who invested in their life. Can you tell us on camera what you did for Christmas this year and where you came to hang out?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I hadn't had a holiday in about 4 or 5 years, and I'd just been stuck in the business, working my ass off. And then, yes, yourself and Mike were like on me to go, oh, no, come over here. And normally I'd be like, oh, no, I got too much on. But I went, no, stuff it, let's do it. So I traveled to Mexico to spend 2 months on the island where you live, and just live and work from there. And it was amazing. I had a great time. You think, oh my God, the business is just going to fall apart. But no, it ran fine because I had good people back at home who were running that side of things. It really opened my eye up to what you can do as a business owner and be able to have it all running, functioning well, and still like have an adventurous lifestyle and go and see and do things that are a lot of fun.
Yeah. And, from my side, yeah, you're a client, and we've probably only known each other a year and a half, something like that. But I consider you a really good friend. And whether there's money changing hands or not doesn't impact my desire to help and celebrate the wins with you. For me personally, that's even more important than the contract.
Yeah, thanks. That's great. I guess from my point of view, it's really good hanging out with like-minded people. Like we think the same. And I think that's why we get on so well and we've become friends. And, when you said you were in Melbourne about, was it 3 months ago? And I was like, oh, that's reason enough. Josh is there. I'm going to go over to Melbourne. And I had a great time, hung out in Melbourne, went to Sydney as well. But it's rare to find people who are really on the same level as you. And that's what I see in you and Mike. So any opportunity, I love to catch up now. And it's also seeing how you've been doing things and, living in this paradise and running as this multinational marketing company. It's opened my eyes out to what you can do, and I'm really interested watching where JMarketing's going, because I know you're more than a marketing company now. You're going into influence and other areas. It's good.
Shara, I am genuinely thankful for your time, mate. It's not always great to start your day jumping on one of these, but thank you so much, pal. I really, really appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem at all. Happy to give a referral when it's a genuine company that you trust and recommend.
Thanks.